Hello and welcome again to another exciting edition of Sports Update Ghana. My name is Joseph Adamafiu, and the Black Stars began their World Cup qualifier on a good note by defeating Ethiopia in their first game by 1-0 at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium. Well, how did the players perform? Did they meet your expectations, and were you impressed with how they performed? Well, let's check out how I rated them in my books. But first of all, if you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment. Yes, so let's begin with goalkeeper Richard Ofori. So Richard Ofori, I rated him 7/10 because I think he did so well. I think he was better in post, and I think he wasn't tested enough because his defenders make sure that he had the best game on his return. But for me, I think Richard Ofori lacked creativity in his play because now the game of football has evolved and goalkeepers start the attack. I think he lacked that kind of creativity and the kind of saves he made. At a point he made one save that I think was very scary. It took the intervention of Daniel Amati to save us. Had it not been for Amati, we would have conceded a goal and the game would have ended 1-1. So Richard Ofori 7/10. I think he was better. So right back, Andy Adam, well, he had a very good game. I think this was one of his best games ever in a Black Star shirt. He did some good runs. He was very good in his tackles and he was intercepting the ball anytime I see him or anytime I spot him. But I think he lacked recovery. Anytime we see Andy Adam forward and loses the ball, sometimes his position or his route is where the balls are often sent and you'll see Amati doing the clearance. But I think he had a good game and I rated him 7/10. Babaraman scored 5/10 in my books because I think he wasted a lot of chances. Babaraman has been one of the consistent players in Coach Siki Akono's team, but I think he didn't impress me in this game. Although he was very good in his tackles and his runs and his interceptions, I think he was very wasteful. There were times Babaraman had the ball and all he had to do was pass the ball. I don't know whether he was thinking of himself as Marcelo or Benzema. He just wanted to be part of the scorers. Babaraman, next time if you have the ball, pass. I want to see you do that. So moving on, centre back Daniel Amati, one of the best players in the game. He scored 7/10 in my books. Daniel Amati was rock solid in defense. He made some very good interceptions, but he lacked communication with his pair, that's Alexander Jiku. And I think moving forward, he should know how he communicates with Jiku. Although Jiku speaks French, I know he understands English, but most of the Black Stars players communicate in the local language. I even saw Coach Siki Akono after the game speaking to Amati in Ghana, and I think he has to have that telepathy with his pair, that's Alexander Jiku. So for Jiku, I think he was also solid because he's learning from Amati. He was also very good in defense. He had some good interceptions and his aerial duels were good, and as I said before, he and Amati lacked communication and he was a bit invincible in the game. So I scored Alexander Jiku 6/10 in my books. For defensive midfield, Baba Idrisu scored 5/10 in my books because I think Baba Idrisu was lost in action and he wasn't much involved in the tackles, but he was forward passing with the ball. When I say he was forward passing, I mean that he sent a lot of through passes, but whenever he had to tackle, he was absent. Baba Idrisu, I think you have to tackle more and win more balls, and then by doing so your game will improve and you stabilize yourself or cement your place in the Black Stars setup. Because as you know, Siki Akono is trying players. Although you've played a couple of matches, I think you should do more. So moving on, undoubtedly the best player in the game against Ethiopia, Mubarak Akaso. He scored 8/10 in my books, and I think Barack Wakaso has one of the best games as a Black Stars player. Not only did he score a goal, but he had some good runs, made some interceptions, and was very good in his tackles and looked organized, but his unnecessary fouls were getting too many, and I think that was one of the reasons why Coach Siki Akono had to sub him. But I like his individual effort and individual brilliance that he used to score the goal. The goalkeeper wasn't expecting that strike from him, thunderous strike, and I think he learned that from his, will I say, mentor Suleiman. Yes, I won't forget that goal against Uruguay. I remember where I was when he scored that goal. But yes, Barack Wakaso did so well. I nearly cried for him when he had to go and chase for the ball, and his teammates weren't helping, and I enjoyed his game. Jeffrey Schlopp, I was disappointed with Jeffrey Schlopp. I scored him 4/10 because this was a player we've been praying or calling for more time for him, and this time when he got the opportunity to start, he got injured. Jeffrey Schlopp, the injuries are too much, and I wish him speedy recovery. Kamali Suleiman, the youngster who played with the seniors, I think he was very good. He was skillful, he was creative, but he needs more room for improvement. And I like the way he switched roles when Schlopp got injured and had to go in and out to win the balls. And I like the fact that he was creative, but except that he was indecisive. Sometimes he had the ball and I thought he could shoot, but then again he sees his senior players and give them so much reverence and ended up not taking the chance to shoot. Well, Andre Ayew, I wasn't impressed as the captain of the side. I was expecting much from him. He didn't make a lot of runs. The Andre Ayew I know used to run a lot and won tackles, but this game he was resting, and well, I think his game has to improve. But in all, I think he was in control. He used his experience in this game. As I said before, he couldn't run and wasted a lot of opportunities and wasn't everywhere. So I rated him 6/10. For Jordan Ayew, who I rated 5/10, I think his inability to score in open play is my issue. My biggest issue with Jordan Ayew is that he has to score. That's the most important thing as a striker. Well, he won tackles, and I think whenever Jordan Ayew has the ball, I'm comfortable because he plays like Berbatov, he plays like Didier Drogba. You can't take the ball away from them. When the ball is on his feet, he knows what to do with the ball. But for me, I think he was a little bit selfish because there were times that he had to pass the ball and he went in for a run, then he falls expecting the referee to give him a penalty or a free kick. No, things don't happen or work like magic like that. So moving forward, I think it should be more you should play as a team player, not as an individual player, and he has to score. As a striker, you have to score. Let's go to the substitutes now, and Yao Yeboah did so well that I had to rate him 6/10 in my books, because for me, I think Yao Yeboah was one of our creative midfielders we had in the game. He needs more time, and I think in the next game against South Africa, if I see him start, I'll be very much impressed, because I like the fact that he was shooting. This player comes from the bench and sees the errors or the weakness of the Ethiopian goalkeeper and lands some two strike that shakes the defense, and the rebound wasn't that good. I think if we had gotten a good rebound, we would have scored 2 goals. But you know, I think Yao Yeboah was good, a little messy. Emmanuel Lomote, I rated him 3/10 because he was just absent from duty. I don't know what he contributed to the game and all that, so I rated him 3/10. For Daniel Kofichu, I think he's not yet right for the Black Stars, and I think he has to go home and watch the Black Stars play in previous games and come back and make sure he does better, because we know you're Brunei, although we are Ghanaian, we know that you are born and raised in Germany, so we're expecting something like Kelvin Prince Boateng, but he looked timid, and at one point when he went into attack and he was all alone, all he had to do was just shoot, because Ghanaians wanted to know what he could do. This is what I like about the late Junior Agogo. Anytime he had the opportunity, although there was the likes of Captain Stephen Appiah and Matthew Amwa there, he took his opportunity and made history for himself and made a name for himself. I don't know what Daniel Kofi, the German blogger, was expecting when he passed the ball to Andre Ayew. Humility is good, but when you have to shoot. Don't wait for senior player to come. Well, Joel Familia, I think he was lost in action. I didn't know what came to contribute in the game when we had Majid Ashimeru on the bench and coach Siki Akono decided to play Joel Familia. Well, for Joel Familia, I rated him 3/10, but Siki Akono, I think his team lacks creativity, no style. We don't even know the formation we are playing. Don't know whether it's 4-3-2-1, 4-4-2, 4-4-1-1. I just don't know. But I like the fact that he's very instructive on the touchline. He doesn't sit down like Coach Bia, my name, your friend is saying, Olegan Associate. He issues instructions and all that. And I think he has one of the best defense I've seen so far from any Black Stars coach. And for me, his the style of play lacks potency. We are not seeing eagerness for goal, maybe the kind of players we had in this game. That's why. But I think he had bad substitution as well. He could have brought in good players, but well, decided to keep them. So I scored him 5/10, winning 2 games out of 5. Well, he has done well, but I think he has to do more. We have to see the team win more games. Yes, so that's about it. That's how I rated the players. So that's it for another edition of Sports Updates Ghana. Do want to subscribe to the channel. Do you agree with my ratings? If not, please share your comments, and do want to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and don't forget to leave a comment. My name is Joseph Adamafio, and I'm out.